brings it down, and I'm almost empty on another one, so I better do some drilling here the next day or two.
Just
Use it up and then.
give it back.
Well, with that, it'd be worth pulling it up whether it's empty.
Well, today I placed an order with my local Tom Thumb for 24 loaves of their French bread, which tomorrow morning I'm gonna pick up and drive over to the East Pantry and drop them off there. I also had like probably 8 packs of hamburger and hot dog buns. I mean, this is just stuff I can't possibly use that much, because, you know, you only got one ticket per $25 spent.
Yeah.
I hardly buy anything, but several times they've handed me entire boxes, and it takes you like 3 hours to go through these boxes.
I was
Open
gonna
up all the
say,
tickets, you
when
gotta
you do
separate them out into coupons versus planes versus to
Yeah.
be scanned stuff, and even today, even though the game's over, they still had a few, so most of the coupons would still be good, and a couple of winners. I
Yeah.
probably won 100 bottles of water like that, you know. Which they ring up at 99 cents and they're like free, which is insane, because for $3 you can get a case of 24, or you can buy 3 singles. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't care, it's free, so, you know,
Take it.
and I don't know, I've only got 4 other boxes about yay big with, you know, panko breadcrumbs and pastas and mixes and salad
Oh,
dressings.
Oh, I'm gonna.
That
Yes,
I all got for free, and again, we're not gonna use it, and Patty said, I don't want this stuff in the house, I said, well, I'm getting it so I can give it away to a pantry, you know, which.
That's
I'm
good,
trying to
they need it.
yeah,
So, why
I mean,
not?
that's a good
But they
idea.
never have 24 loaves of that bread in at any one time, so you have to place an order, they'll have it ready tomorrow. Minnie's pantry in Plano is only open like 3 hours, 8:30 to 11:30 on 4 days of the week. So
Yeah.
I need to time this.
Gotta get there when you can.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I mean, I can't possibly use it. A lot of people are probably not gonna bother with trying to turn this stuff in, so I'm giving it away.
It's time.
It's time.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't
You're on.
see
Yeah,
mine.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
4
seeing
minutes
myself over there now.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you're hiding. That's
I'll
You're up.
Make sure the back of my hair looks good.
No, it's your front that shows.
Okay, it's time.
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, 'cause I'm
Okay, Call the meeting to order. I don't see any. Well, yeah, Donna's a guest. I don't think
Yes.
you've been here before. Okay, this is, introduce yourself, Donna.
I'm Donna Howell.
See, she was fine.
The better half.
And
The much better half, believe me.
are you like my wife? Don't collect?
No, I don't collect,
Okay.
You don't have that gene, right?
not yet.
There has to be a balance in our family.
Okay, Skip, you got the sign-in sheet?
I do, everybody's signed in.
All
I
right,
have 9 people and I got 9 signatures.
all right.
You have 9 winning tickets.
Officers report. The president is not here. And I don't think we have anything pressing anyway. Treasurer, okay, she's here.
Yes, there's, yeah, we're still at 13,000. I had to stop, because I wrote a bunch of checks and then I made it some deposits, so we're still up hanging around about 13,000.
Secretary,
We still have 90 members. There's been no change.
all right, committee reports, stamp sales.
Stamp sales, APS books will be sent back tomorrow. I'll probably get a circuit Monday. They seem to mail them out around the 20th. This one, somehow or other, he mailed it and just a few days before Arlington, I emailed him back and said, I haven't got it yet. And he said, well, let me check. I'm tracking. And it says, well, it's back here. Over. They went to Fort Worth and then it came back here. Anyway, so he expedited it and I got it in time for the Arlington meeting. And we've had a little over $90 in sales so far.
And you are accepting Mid-City Stamp Club member books, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have 2 new club books. Jessup gave me 2 new club books at Arlington. One is a world mix, little potpourri kind of thing. And the other is revenues, including ducks, bunch of duck stamps.
Cool.
So,
Well, I like your lantern for your name tag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go home and dig up a couple out.
Well, the
What name tag?
the coupon here, of course, is Peter. Well, I guess this was from when Tom was doing the name tag.
Tags. Okay, I was trying to remember who had the name tags.
And this was, this is welcome to Irving. I went to something or other when I was working and they handed these out and so,
Well, it's better than the pin one.
yeah. And so anyway, thank you.
We need to switch that for the show.
Okay, whatever you want.
I
Okay.
probably got like 50 of those at home, and every time I went
I
to some
did have,
IT
but I
show,
don't
I
anymore.
ended up seeing every visit of every.
Would you mind donating them to the club?
I would try, they probably have, well, I mean, they're hanging there as kind of a big souvenir blob in the corner of my office from every trade show.
In other words, no.
Well,
Yeah, and they're different
I heard
types.
that as a no.
obviously,
We've got them
colors,
at the souvenir.
yeah, that's okay. All I just, because we have so much trouble with the pin on name tags, that having those,
But not all will have that plastic thing to go with it, because they
oh,
might
well,
have,
we'll provide that.
I'll see what I have, but.
Yeah.
If I want out that, I can grab it and hang them.
Yeah.
Okay, Expo. Ralph's not here. He was here last month.
See you never.
But we did have an expo meeting and I think everything pretty much was on track. Tom did send out the contracts to, I believe, 22 dealers.
Yes.
And he has got responses back, well, I guess, I don't think he got a responses back yet, but he anticipates that almost all 22 will be there. So he's still got 4 tables that are open, and he thinks he'll be able to sell those. Now, this year, the floor plan will have all dealers on the main floor, and the exhibits are gonna be off of that room. You know, where the registration desk is, and there's a room off to the south side,
Right,
Left.
or left.
you're at the registration table.
Facing it.
Oh, if you're facing it, then it's,
Still the south side.
Oh, we didn't go water.
But anyway, we also have another expo meeting coming up, and I forgot to write down the date. Anybody remember?
June,
yeah, okay,
June when?
19.
Oh,
so he was gonna have it the following weekend, but that was a TSDA
okay.
fair, so.
Okay, well, it's gonna be
Moving
at
week.
Spring Creek again, and the club, I understand, is buying lunches again.
Yeah.
So,
Buy sandwiches.
yeah. So anyway, that's the expo. Newsletter.
It's, well, actually, back to the judges since I'm doing it, so here's, for those who don't already know, here's a list of our 3 esteemed judges that I pulled together.
We have a copy of that for me.
Yeah, I can email you one of them.
That's good.
I just reprinted
Email's
it out. It's actually kind of a 3-peat, so it was easy. I didn't have to scour 100 judges and wait forever to get responses. All 3 of these have been here before. These 3 should have actually been here last year, which only 1 was here for pseudo judging. So now I'm getting all 3 back, they all agreed. So we have Patrick Walters, who's a philately chief judge, and a literature chief judge, not really worry about that. And we have Dr. Stephen Washburn, who, anyway, Patrick Walters is out of Colorado and Florida, depending on the time of year. Stephen Washburn is from Philadelphia, and he actually, I think, has family in the area as well. So, and he's also philately chief judge, so I figured, well, Pat was the chief judge for us last time around, so I'll make Dr. Stephen Washburn the chief judge, and I also invited him to give a talk on at Expo.
We'll be back to our next book in just a minute. I finally am logging in the attendance list that we had there at the registration. This year it was different because the county gave us the sheets, and we got the names, and we got emails, and we got phone numbers, and that was it. But I am absolutely astounded at the number of new people that showed up at Expo this year.
How did they, whether it's through mail outs or how did they find?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna put on the registration forms, how did you find out about this place? Because we did something right. Because.
But they were just really hunting for a way to get
Yeah,
out
I
of the
mean,
house.
I think I'm averaging about 30% new. I'm
Well,
only
I've
halfway
got
through
a
the list.
list from, well, I think it was the combination list of TSDA and TPA and ours. And I mean, because I was trying to figure out, is it worth it to try to do a club, maybe the northeast, Brantford down there, there are like 1,600 people as collectors, you know, between Garland and Allen and Frisco and
Wow.
Plano and Richardson and, or, you know, whatever, Saxe, Murphy, Wiley. Of which, you know, we just get a handful would be interested in
Yeah,
attending a meeting with you
you
guys.
need to work on that.
Yeah, well, COVID kind of put a kibosh on that.
Yeah, well,
You know, well, they cater more to the central Dallas area. I mean, not to say that people might meet up out in the burbs, you know, are interested, but, you know, it's not as many people from like, again, during rush hour, who wants to drive down Central Expressway from Frisco all the way down there? That's just a cluster, you know, at that point. So if it's something that's more close, where they only drive 5-10 miles instead of a 20-mile drive. Anyway, there are enough people that are philatelists, so yeah, it could be some of those that finally decided to do something, I don't know. And Colin Fraser, that's the last one, he's the guy with the British accent, he's out of Woodstock, New York, so. Woodstock. It's just a matter of, well, I'm working on it, I still have actually plenty of space, because of tax season and property tax fighting and all that fun stuff, you know, I haven't had as much time to write articles, I have like 8 backlogged articles from, Bob Weedman alone, about 46 from me, with a couple others that I write outside of that. Unless there's club related news, I mean, the only thing coming up that I'm aware of other than the expo meeting is gonna be the TSDA version.
well, and our,
We decided on the rotation for the meet.
yeah, so I'll get.
Oh, yeah, get me those,
We'll get you a
Well,
rotation.
Stockbridge is gonna have to give me his, you're gonna do them for both locations?
Sure.
Well,
We
we're
need
gonna
to
check
check
with Richard and then,
But
and
we
we
can't.
most likely, yeah, well, so. I'll-
Check to make sure the restaurants are still open, like,
Yeah.
Campo Verde, which is, or not Campo Verde, what's the
It
other one?
was
Angelo's.
Angelo's, yeah.
The one here in the Irving area is still open, but the
Okay.
one down there is
It's
permanently
not.
shut.
You wanna mention the new website live on the newsletter?
That's- Yeah, that's next.
Next. I'm just saying on the newsletter, we can put that out there.
Yeah, we can go to the website. Okay, Evan, you're on.
You want me to put up the website on the big screen? You've seen it,
Sure.
right? You guys are all there.
We have a remote visitor, by the way, John, with us.
Oh, okay.
Hi, John.
Great, thanks, everything works smoothly, thanks, Rick.
We
Okay.
can't hear you. You have the audio? You want to put the audio on my side?
Yeah, do it on yours if you can. Hang on a second, John. We'll put
Yep,
you
no
on.
problem,
John, can you hear us now?
perfect, a little bit of vibration, yep.
Sound cool that way. So,
John, the Terminator up there.
since John's on, you want me to share my screen?
Sure.
Because you blocked it from sharing.
Oh, no, wait, I can unblock it.
May have to
Hold on.
allow you to do it though.
Okay, it says the host is disabled the screen sharing.
So I love the fact, I love the fact.
That's from Rick. And I like how he selected all the Texas stamps.
We sure have.
Where's the Sam Houston stamp from 1960? No, there's more than that. The Texas one. I'm still in on Rick too. I can't share the screen.
What's the matter?
I can't share my screen, meaning
Uh,
I can't share with,
let me see if I can change.
Oh, don't
hang on a
worry about it.
second.
Don't worry about it, you guys. You guys go ahead with your meeting. I just,
Please come back next time.
I wish I was there to get a drink with you guys.
I wish he was here to have a drink with us. You missed it. You should be here next time.
I will try and make it for sure.
There you go. DFW airport is open. All right.
I can't seem to get it to do that on
It's okay,
here.
I can share it on this screen for everybody here,
Okay,
but John's the only one who's doing this. It's another semester, right?
yeah.
So essentially, yeah, let me just slow down. That's the site. Show on a load right now. So this is the, we went live on Monday. So this is the Arlington,
Yes.
Euless and the Granbury offices, right? You can just click in and go to those locations, or at the top, we have the Arlington meeting information first. Let's start from the top. There's the three locations. We can have more content, we just need to know what I want to put on here. So Euless, here's the meeting. The Zoom link is already on here. If somebody wants to join that from there. Where we're going to be meeting. This whole meeting without getting Zoom bombed like the one time we had. Did you have a message? Yeah, right here. I think it did. So here's the address.
Oh, cool.
Right? So you just hit the directions. And yes, that's great. You can do it from your phone. Go to the website. It should be able to. Yeah. Yes. Actually, same thing with the Arlington. See, we put the map here. Click on it, it should open up. This is where the meeting's at. Yeah. So you just go and.
Yes.
Then we have a calendar. I'm assuming this is April 27th. So somebody has to be responsible for updating this content or provide the content to me and I'll update that.
I have an automatic expiring calendar, right? That manages itself, like
You
if
could.
the date less than, get rid of the pipes.
Just a thought. We could.
Once it's passed, it doesn't really matter. This is just current or upcoming stuff.
Well,
That's your thing, isn't it?
No, that's not mine. That's,
if it's something
that's similar
that's
to it
needed,
though.
Similar.
Well,
I think Jim actually provided that one.
Rely on some of it. Things current.
I do have that list of philatelic events that I think you posted on the other side, on the other part there.
The events, what do you mean?
See the black bar up there?
Yep.
I can't
This
read
one,
it all.
Philatelic News?
Yeah, I can't read it all from this distance.
Oh. Let me try. A little better?
That's better.
Yeah, philatelic news. Open that up.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, should it be,
And-
see, the title of this, should it be like, other events or?
Well, why shouldn't they just be on the calendar themselves? I mean, it doesn't have to be just our calendar, it could be any philatelic related event.
Yeah.
Go to the calendar and see what's happening wherever.
or maybe this just kind of keeps, if you're wanting just local stuff. And if you want, what's around the world, you know,
Well,
I
we're
think-
not gonna go that far, you know.
well, yeah, I mean,
Maybe the postcard club stuff showing up here, they used to show, or
well, yeah, that would be listed in,
But you've seen my philatelic
Yeah.
schedule of events, right?
right,
And we could post that.
Yeah.
And that would take care of most of the stuff. I mean, it's got everything like from the APS and everything else on it.
That's,
But
that's,
I'm sure we'll get there eventually. I mean, you know.
So.
You
so
guys-
Peter's
you
asking
guys-
about having a calendar system. So Peter, just so you know, so just so you guys know, let me just give you guys a little tour of the backing here. So I want to change the site to the cities. So essentially, on the back end here, I can add events. I have an events manager here, where, if I list all the events, this could have, we tried it, but we didn't do it. I can have a start date and an end date, and software will automatically remove it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly anything that makes life easier, that's what we have.
And we can load all the events here. So going back to the site, essentially, we spend a lot of time on the newsletter page. I'm missing three newsletters. I don't know if you have access to January, February, March. For some reason, those files I don't have access.
Well, they're actually loaded in a public website already.
If you give me, are they on, where are they?
They are at, big-citystampclub.webs.com/newsletter.html. And that goes back about 2.5 years.
Actually,
I updated it with the current one just because that site is gonna go away shortly.
I've got them all on a hard drive over here if you want them.
actually, I did go to that site, Peter, and we went in and picked up all the 2018 newsletters.
Oh, on that site, yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's right, because I haven't updated that site with the new stuff. I only update betweentheverse.com/MCSE, which is what I've been using for the most current stuff.
so I got the last 3 years newsletters. I'll click on them. They should be available. And we downloaded all the newsletters from that
Yeah.
website and we're posting it here just in case the link changes, so they're all right.
Except for the last 2 or 3 or whatever this year, I haven't really updated that older site because Vista Frank is shutting it down.
Do you have those 3?
Well, no, they're actually at the betweentheperks.com/missing
Between the first?
Yeah, .com. All one word.
Oh, yes, I like it.
We're getting there. I mean, it's gonna take a little time to get all the bugs ironed out.
It looks great.
It's been like pulling teeth at times.
The other
So
one
I've posted these so far, I haven't really had.
Really fun.
I just
Okay,
bought my
I'll
own.
get it. Perfect. I'll get that about it. So yes, so the newsletter, I figured we can go back if we have the 2016-15. And at some point, I was thinking about we can do like a decade at a time. So 2001 through, this way you can have all in one page if you want to do that.
We came back in 1973 or something. I also provide separate indexes. In fact, I'm on a spreadsheet right now, so I have a huge spreadsheet with like 1,000 outside of something.
But I mean, if you remember something, you don't know what you picture.
Well, you can search for it. I mean, I usually compile those indexes in 4 separate ways as 4 separate files. So you can search for it alphabetically by author, alphabetically by name, alphabetically by category, and also, of course, by issue number.
Yeah, but I think to have that with the means of going from the index to the actual issue.
Well, then somebody would have to do a whole lot of linking.
Oh, I see, yeah, that's automatic.
Here, that's why I told you in the email, right? That's what I think.
The couple other things here, the membership, I just want to make sure we have the right form here. I confirmed with Jim, this is the, I think, maybe you guys said it once, this is not the actual membership doc, this is the renewal.
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty cool.
So that's what was on the current website.
I need to be similar.
If I get the full membership form, I
Okay,
can.
so you need a copy of the, okay, I can email you that then.
Okay. The other thing, Expo,
You know how I can go in and upload.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. This is being recorded from. Proprietary information to will see this on YouTube.
It's okay, I don't think, it's fine, so I'll give you access to it, yeah, I'm not. So the Expo, I separated the hotel info, took some latest pictures of the, Comfort Inn.
They need to pay us for listening, right?
Yeah, the dealer directory had been updated before it was a PDF, so now these are all if they have a website, I had my guys go through and find their websites if they have one. So we link them to their websites. So if you click on them, it will take you to, if they have a website, they don't have a website, or I can find one. But if I did find it, I think I would.
See, now, that's a big, perk for our dealers, you know,
Yeah.
they get some extra advertisement here.
And it's not
So-
just us, it could be anybody else stumbling across this site and then go over there, they might get extra business from
Yeah,
nobody related to us.
that's what we're hoping.
That's
So
pretty
it's an encouragement for them to join the expo.
Yes.
And then you have, I was thinking if we wanna, add more content like, hey, how to apply for an exhibit, so maybe, the judges, we can probably have a tab here for judges, right?
Well, yeah,
If you wanna highlight it.
the entry forms, Ray Cartier, I think, was passing some around to some of us to just make sure that he got the
Yeah.
information correct.
Yeah.
But once it's a PDF file, we can just load it, up here.
Yeah.
For this year, just have to, like before, just keep up with it, not like have an application form from 3 years ago, Once this year's show is over with, you get rid of that form, boom.
Well, if it's,
Well, just change it
I'll just change
And
it
the
here
dates
on
on
it.
it.
for the next year.
Forms usually have a lot of dates, and things specific to that show on it.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just change the dates and.
Yeah.
Update it to the next.
Well, not of the membership forms.
No, we're
No,
talking
but like
about
the
applications to be an exhibit or something.
Oh, yeah.
So in a nutshell, this is it. I mean, we have
nice.
officers.
Nutshell.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's good for, we were looking at our mobile device earlier. It'll respond nicely on a mobile device. You can navigate it, try it, see what it looks like. But other than that, that's it. Officers.
All right.
What do you have for contact us?
Do you want to have photos of the officers?
No.
Why not?
No. Why not? Because I take terrible
Hey, I'm not
pictures.
one, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Maybe just an avatar.
An avatar.
Avatar about one of those messages online.
So the contact us is a contact form. So if somebody fills this out,
But where does
You
it
know, I
go
don't
to?
know how
so it's gonna go to,
Oh,
let
I need
me
it.
show you.
I don't know what-
You know, if we do avatars, we could put one that looks like Marilyn Monroe up there, and we probably get a whole lot more members.
Our treasurer would like
Site, so I don't know what happens.
I can email to your directly.
Yeah, that's fine. Just Peter at PCOS.com. I mean, they won't see that, right?
Nobody sees it. That's why I took it out.
That's good.
Peter at P.
See, Elias.
It looks great, Evan.
I like it, good job.
Anybody else wants the contact form to go to? Anybody else?
Because, it's like, hi, so-and-so died, I inherited a collection, what do I do? So depending on what I say, but, what they tell me, then I go, give
Send
it
it
off
to
to Tom
whoever.
Cunningham, or maybe point them to one of our meetings, or something like that, so.
So Peter, so I'm gonna give you access to this back end here. So what you're gonna do is pretty simple. You log in here, you will notice there's a support ticket button. You just click on it. You hit create a new ticket. Hey, upload this newsletter article, you just attach the file over here, right?
But I don't change the actual site. right?
You don't have to do that. You just select this. I got enough people to take care of it.
I thought I'd be updating it myself.
No, so for example, so we missed the 3, there's already on this site, there's some tickets on it, okay? So, file placement. So, we're talking about the 3 missed newsletters, right?
Yeah,
So, what happens is, anyways, I'll just.
just gotta change the link to it.
Okay, so to get to this website here, is it midcitystampclub.com?
Yes, it is.
With a dash.
So
With
I-
a hyphen.
Cities.
Mid
Yeah,
dash
it is
city.
a yeah, okay, so I'm on it. I guess.
You're on it, does it look good? Then you're on the right page.
You won't see the old page anymore.
That's right, it's gone.
Thank God.
What you do is find that email I sent with saying for Monday,
Uh-huh.
where we went live, because there was a link to it. Right there. That's how I,
Okay.
Yeah.
if you haven't deleted it.
No, I still, I keep it until after the meeting,
Yeah.
so I'll look it up tonight.
Yeah, otherwise I'll send it to you again.
I don't have tired irons tonight.
I didn't read that. The way that sounded.
No, that's-
I can send it to you.
But no, yeah, I get your emails, all right, yeah, I'll get this.
It to be online.
It was it was Monday, I sent that around 1 o'clock,
Okay,
2 o'clock.
okay.
I propose a vote of thanks to Ellen and Rick.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
I didn't do anything.
Probably didn't do that.
No,
It was there, Peters. Yeah.
let's move on to, show and tell.
He just had show and tell.
Yeah,
They are done.
okay, yeah. As far as I go, my show and tell is I have a whole bunch of overseas envelopes that I've gotten through eBay purchases. They're over there on the table. They're free. Help yourself.
Buy one from Sweden or what is it,
Yep.
another one?
Sweden, the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, England. So anyway, that's my show and tell.
I have nothing.
Show and give away.
There you go, showing you what.
I really have nothing.
Oh,
I would have nothing to show them, you know. You got it.
Nada.
super.
Good old skipper.
The Howard Savage at the Arlington meeting gave me a big sack of stamps, donation kind of thing. There was a lot of Switzerland in it. And as I was going through there, I came across this, and I'll pass it around. Had not seen this before, but it looks like the German labels with a number printed on it.
You know about these.
And I hadn't seen those.
Oh,
before.
those are Framas.
What are they?
Point into the camera so whoever's watching, like John Withers, can see them.
Oh, cool.
Those are Framas. They haven't used, well, of course, Frama machines are dead now. Even the company no longer makes the machines. But they had a set of 4 different ones. You got 3 of them right here.
Pass it around.
Sure, Evan. Okay.
But so those are true Frama labels from a Frama machine.
Frama labels, okay.
Well, people call anything from postage vending machine Framas, just like every
They're-
photocopy is a Xerox,
They're
right?
sort of collectible. Okay,
Finding a postage used, yeah, that's nice.
okay.
Did you say they're boring?
No, is it? I said they're.
Yeah,
I did.
I think Peter collects those. It's good.
I wrote a little article about this. I exchanged stamps with a guy named Bob Bigler in Dorchester, Canada. And he sent me a bunch of stamps in a stockbook. And he paid the entire postage with 5-cent stamps. He overlaid them in such a way that you can read the 5 in every example. So you can count up all the 5s if you want to know how much it costs.
I bet the post office loves him.
I made a comment that the Canada Post Office allows this, clearly.
But here,
But
yeah,
here you couldn't do that.
because one of the stamps could be obliterated or in the corner that you now covered up. Makes it look like it's not
Yeah,
there.
so you could be cheating the post office by putting up a postmark.
Well, they find other ways of doing that. Are they upside down?
Well, there are all different ways.
Oh,
They just gotta show the
Depends on where
5,
the
right?
denomination
I'm not sure if I'm should be looking at this or that. The 5 is all that matters.
Yes, yeah.
And again, for John Withers' benefit here.
That's
So
quite a collection.
This guy is a great trader, and we send each other spreadsheets of what we're sending each other and so on. But one of the things I've noticed with a lot of mail from Canada is that there are a lot of skips. I call them skips because they don't get cancelled. Stamps come through from Canada with no postmark. And so I've been saving a lot of these because I only collect postally used stamps. And these are postally used, but you can't
Stamps on your own.
So
I wouldn't complain about it.
Send a bunch of these and have them cancelled with the local post office. So you're very happy to to oblige.
Sounds too bad we can't do this here.
Well, we do, but
Right?
they take a marks a lot, just mark through the whole stamp, you know, so.
Okay, but I mean, we can overlap our
No,
stamps.
no, we're not allowed
That's
to.
illegal.
I don't know.
I didn't think we could.
No.
Used to be
He's
able to.
overlapped them. I
In
mean,
Canada, it's allowed, you see.
But I once got an eBay lot that I ordered, and there was a package, and there were like a couple of higher dollar value stamps on them. But two of the high dollar value stamps were fake. They were just printed off with a scanned and photocopied. And then the enterprising eBay seller, because they now got $7 out of $8 maybe paid for with fakes.
yeah.
They then very conveniently put real old like Eisenhower and other real stamps, just barely covering the fake stamps all the way around, because the fake stamps had no perforations, right? So they covered it. It wasn't until I soaked them off that I saw that they cheated, the postal service of $7 out of $8 or so dollars. That reseller lady that sold me a car part out of Michigan or wherever she was from, know that, this package of hers would reach a collector who, I figured it out. I sent it on to John Hotchner, who was, of course, was an expert on modern
Did
forgery.
you order to eBay?
No, I didn't, but, I just said, block receipt, thank you, But, I did let the US Postal Service Inspection Service know. I sent them a scan of this stuff.
Okay.
So I've done my part. They're in good hands with Ron Rod.
My second one, I think I brought this before, but this goes back to 2011. So if you've seen it before, forgive me, and if you haven't, then you might be amused. I'm an alumnus of Warwick School in England, and they sent out an appeal for any old stuff that you have from your school days, and I had some, magazine type things and so on. So I said, I'll send you a bunch, and they packaged them up, and the postage, because you cannot send media mail overseas, you cannot send surface mail overseas, it has to go air mail at so much per ounce, and it was going to cost a fortune. And it so happened that Judith and I were going to Ireland, and so I thought, what I'm going to do is take this in a suitcase, take it to the post office in Ireland,
There
and
is a
mail it
way.
from there to the school. So I did that, and I asked the school if they would kindly send the cover from this parcel back to me, and they did. This is the envelope that they sent it back in, and here it is. I went to the main post office in Dublin, which has a philatelic bureau, and they worked with me to find an array of stamps that would come to exactly the right amount of postage.
Now, Ken, in case you didn't know, because I used to mail books overseas years ago when surface mail was still around, and you were familiar with M-bags, right?
No.
M-bag is a large canvas bag about yay big that is, M probably stands for media, and it allowed you to mail media like books and catalogs and that kind of stuff overseas for a fraction of what it would have cost, sending them via regular mail.
Is that still available?
M-bags still exist, but they dropped the surface part. So, but you can mail for like $40, you can mail 11 pounds. Which if you mail 11 pounds any other way, it costs you more than 40 bucks.
So you go to the post office and ask for
an
they'll give you the
M-bag.
bag, will they?
Well, they provide the bag. You just have your item addressed as normal. You fill out a tag, so it's about yay big. It's called an M bag. It says so right on it, and you just fill out the sender and addressee, and the postage goes on that M bag. So the trick really philatelically would be collecting properly used M bag tags. It's like in the old days when you had a parcel card, kind of similar to that. And that tag is then tied. It ties the bag closed, but the bag is a big canvas bag, kind of like this, but actually about double that height. So it's sturdy enough to handle mail overseas. But if you ever need to mail a lot of books overseas, I mean, it's still not cheap, but it costs you $60 to mail a 4-pound book to Germany. I speak from experience, because that's our only choice. So, that same book under M-bag would probably be $40 or less. I mean, it's based on a per pound price or so, but look it up the next time you mail a fair amount of books or what's considered media overseas. It's something even most of the local postal clerks don't know anything about. It's rather obscure, but it still exists, so give that a shot.
That's good to know.
That's the philatelic, that's or,
Yeah.
I already saw, oh, you already saw it.
Sorry, so. Yeah, that's cool.
Of course, it ended up costing a whole lot less.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't mess up your allowance of the baggage weight for your airline trip, did it? Because now you're limited to like 40 pounds or 50 pounds per bag.
No, I have a little problem.
That's true.
That's
That's
really
pretty cool.
Okay, anything else, Ken?
John back.
Okay, Evan? Okay, and now,
Last but not least.
our program.
Okay, couple items. Actually, I procured these today.
Oh, we have it.
They're gonna fall all over the place here. Kind of nicely arranged, but they don't stick. If you ever gone to the post office and usually on the counter somewhere, they have this little like roughly 8x11, 8x10, whatever, magnetic board where they put these little stamp images. So these are, they send them like a sheet of these and then they break them apart as the stamps come out and slap them on there saying, look at the stamps you can buy, basically. But after a year or two, that stamp's no longer available, then they usually chuck those little magnets. So if you're interested in a free fridge magnet, if in good terms with your local postal people, like today, I managed to get these three, which is the, what is that? That was that murals, one of the mural stamps and one of the locomotive ones, and also one for the state of Indiana, which they don't have at our post office anymore, so they let me have them. I have a small collection of them up on my fridge, much to my wife's chagrin. Anyway, I'll pass those around. But if you're doing an exhibit and you want a philatelic related item to be as part of the exhibit, then you happen to have one from the current staff, you might have a little add-on item. And the last two are, this month, we actually had two stamp issues. The first one was May 4th, which was the Star Wars Android robot thingies. And I was lucky enough to get the deck card, which is really hard to get. Well, yeah, it's always exactly the same size as the sheet. And then I took one stamp off and put that on the front, and I got the first day postmark. Now, it's not the official first day city, but it is a first day postmark. But again, how many of these are gonna exist? Not a whole lot. Yeah, I could maybe have put all 10 stamps on here, but it would kind of obliterate it. Usually I just choose a stamp at random and put it on here. And because he's so iconic, I used R2D2 on that one. And then actually just 2 days ago, we had heritage breeds get issued. That's a set of 10 different ones to each of heritage breeds, from ducks and cows and whatever, horses. And again, I was lucky enough to have had the first day mark. I just chose one stamp and one common chicken and used that as it again, in Plano, and they usually let me postmark it myself, so it's not reasonably nice. But they make nice little collectibles, and people that do exhibits, sometimes if the exhibit relates to something like this is a nice item to have. The nicest one that I have per se was 2 years ago when the little Mo stamp came out. Remember that, the tennis player with ties to SMU? Well, I was at that ceremony. And from my post office prior to the ceremony, I got the deck card because they weren't going to probably give me one at the show. So I had that card already with me. I just bought the stamps at the show because the card was given to me the day before the issue. So I was able to get that not just postmarked with an actual first day of issue canceled. I also got the daughter of Little Mo to sign the card for me. And that's probably the only one in existence. So I'm not a big autograph hound, but I figured, what the heck, how do I get it? And maybe last but not least, the Postal Service has all sorts of priority mail envelopes and boxes, right? Well, apparently for institutional mailers, they also have plastic bags.
Yeah.
These are probably filled by machine. Yes, I showed it in Arlington.
Well, okay, or else I was thinking we received something in a bag like that. So
Yes, usually these particular ones are used by stocks and mutual fund companies to send out proxy vote material
Okay,
and
that's
shareholder stuff.
Yeah.
That's where this came from, but it's actually a USPS official package, because it's got that PS number here, that's usually what the clerks scan when you bring them a flat rate item. And this is actually labeled flat rate envelope. But you're not gonna find this at the post office, where they keep all their stuff. This would have to be a special order item, and the postal service probably provides it to all these, Exxon and other companies to mail their, reports out of. So for people that collect post office history as opposed to postal history, because it's not really postal stationery, but it is postal. So, I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily collect this, but it's just for people that study this kind of stuff 50 years from now, it's like, well, I'm gonna do some real stuff, this will be one of those things.
Okay, so
It might be worth $100,000 at that time.
Yeah.
they take one of the stamps from a sheet and put
I'm
it,
the one that put the stamp sheet, the actual stamp was on the upper right-hand corner.
right.
And, the deck card is just a card minus cancel minus stamp.
Oh, okay.
I make it into a collectible.
Okay, because I look over, but there's always one missing.
Well, yeah, because I took that one out. That's just the actual sheet, but.
Yeah.
These, who gave you these? You did, okay, sorry. Ken gave me a couple earlier older ones, like for example, here's one from the 50-cent souvenir sheets with Santa Claus that came out like 2-3 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And again, the only way you can get these is you gotta usually buy the whole pack. Pack being usually 100 sheets, but could also be 50, it just depends. In this case, well, yeah, 100 pages.
But now, no,
That's the top card, that's shrink wrapped with the actual
Yeah,
layers of
but now you
sheets
can
below.
get that top card for free just by asking.
Well, yeah, you gotta know your.
Yeah,
personnel. You gotta be real
If
friendly
somebody
with them
knows
because
you, yeah.
they probably consider these to be state secrets. Yes, they're gonna throw them out anyway,
Yeah.
but heaven forbid you have them. It's like, really, I just collect them.
I've tried to get them out of Bedford Post Office and you can't get them. They won't give them to you.
Mine,
Euless
I've
won't
been a,
You're an all, long time customer.
yes, 24 years at that one post office.
I remember in terms of the Colleyville post office, I'm going to ask them there.
Try it, yeah.
Well, they did try to sell these a few years back. If you go to archive.org and search the older copies of USPS websites, you will actually come across those. Where the postal service actually sold them with a stamp on it and even a color first day of issue postmark on it. They figured, ooh, we can make some extra money. They sold them like $2.5, $3 or something. But, after a year or two, they found out they really weren't selling. It's just a couple of, crazy collectors like me that collect them, not enough for them to warrant, mass producing them extra. But they're still there. They have a legal reason to be there. Or take the shrink wrap package, because they said, don't open this package up unless you can verify that there's really, say, 100 panes in there.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? If you take it apart, then, they could say, oh, there's only 99 in here. And they kept one, so they're supposed to, but I've never seen them do it. Usually you see a corner there where they have a little diagonal mark. They're
Yeah.
supposed to very carefully slit that part open so they can lift that part back, leaving the rest of the sheet shrink wrap still, but then they can, technically count all the different sheets by kind of bending them forward and counting that way to verify that it's really 100. I've never seen anyone do that. They probably just assume that the equipment that puts them together works, but that's how that works. But it is a neat little add-on to a collection. To me, it means more than a mass-produced first day cover because I got this on the day it's done, and there's very few of those out there. Not that they're gonna be worth much, but there's, there's a
It's
rarity
your
factor.
collection.
Yeah, this came out 2 days ago. Well, I keep up with Lynn, so I can pester the guy. You gonna get these on the day that it's out, And so far this year, I've only gotten
Postmaster
3 out of
didn't
the
anything because they didn't
issues we've had this year.
Oh,
Because
wow.
the postal service just wasn't.
That's the way I see it.
A lot of these things aren't on automatic distribution. They have to order them. And a lot of times they don't even want to order a pad of 100 because they may not even sell 100 sheets of this. I mean, are we gonna sell 100 of these? I don't know. The Star Wars droids, that has more of a topic appeal probably.
Yeah.
To people out there that aren't collectors.
Yeah, I use the $5 and $10 wage stamps, and the post office refuses to get them. Have to go to Kansas City to get them.
Oh, probably because of the high value of them. But anyway, there's a lot of neat stuff like this. You just want to make collecting fun, this costs
You do.
you at that. Well, for something like this, you have to buy the sheet. They won't sell you just one stamp, for those type of stamps. If it's a sheet of 20 of the same stamp, yeah, you probably get away with getting the deck card and just buying it on one stamp.
Yeah.
anyway, it's kind of a fun little add-on and
Yeah.
I have fun with it, so.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right,
That's all.
thank you, Peter. I don't think we have a program. So,
We just had.
this was the program.
Yeah.
Do we have any other business we want to discuss? I do want to thank the ladies for coming here. And we certainly hope we can see you more frequently.
Still staring at you.
One other thing, and I sent an email to the board this afternoon
Oh, yeah.
about the hinges and just remind y'all that it's in
Yeah, I
there
saw
and you can ponder that and give me your
Well,
thoughts.
first of all, you need hinges, like people like me that put books together and I don't want to use expensive mounts, then, you can go to 1,000 hinges like that. Where are we gonna get them? Well, if you're not making it to meetings, if you don't have them here, then we're stuck with trying to get all of RJP or somebody like that, or Subway stamps and order them in. If you're lucky, Hobby Lobby has them, but theirs are all rather curly. Because those packages of theirs are this bulky big, which means almost, who knows where they store them.
Their
So-
humidity is.
Yeah.
Good as.
So
Okay,
I'd
well,
say let's try to keep them, and I don't know what they cost commercially elsewhere, it's like a Hobby Lobby, whatever their price is, probably $4 or something, I don't know, $2.75.
yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say, I sent an email and, and I'll go with the flow. Kind of thing.
Well, it should be a nice service, if the club loses 25 cents a pack selling it to.
Well, the last-
I mean, I think we have enough money in the kitty to.
They usually order 25 at a time, and they've been moving very slowly, because there's very few been through. And the only reason I'm running low is Mike Smith up in Oregon bought 10 packages this summer,
Oh,
this
wow.
past summer. And so,
You're pretty bored of that.
Instead of Subway, why don't you ask RJ Ricky Pete to see what he would charge us for?
Yeah.
well, I can
He's
do
a
that.
supplies dealer, you should have him. And he's not gonna charge you $20 to mail
I
them.
don't think he has the G and K. Now, and when I took it over, Herman said that he thought those were the best. They're not, what were the legendary kinds? Ed and Dennison, they're not Dennisons, but I have found the G and K. If you don't wet them too much, just lightly, let them dry for a few seconds before you put them on. They will peel off without leaving, well, they'll always leave a mark. There's always a little glue remnant on there, but they will peel off without it. But it really is, you gotta just wet them lightly, and I usually will blow on them and take a few, 2-3 seconds before I'll catch them. And that seems to work real well.
Just ask Ricky to see what brand or brands
Yeah, I
he
can do
carries and
that.
what his charge would be. I imagine it'd be less than, because he might give us the club discount while Subway stamp sells us at retail.
Subway, the hinges at Subway is, the price that Subway is giving us is very good. It's just that they charge an outrageous amount for shipping.
$20.
It's actually $22.
Oh, that's,
And it doesn't matter whether you order 10 or 20 or 50.
I mean, I order clothes for less than that.
I assume,
Now, I didn't know that this was a service available through the club. I've been a
didn't
club member for God knows how long, and I just didn't know.
this is on the thing. It's been on the stamp sales desk ever since I've been doing sales for 14 years.
But
We're
what I'm
very
thinking-
alert,
what I'm
aren't we?
thinking is- what I'm thinking is when we get a new stock, we
Yeah,
have an article in the newsletter saying that these are available now.
okay,
Just restocked.
okay. Well, I guess, okay, can do that.
Great.
Okay, well, I guess we're ready for the drawing.
Yes.
Treasurer, how many do we have?
Well, we have 2 for this year, and we had the 2 from last year. So we'll hand out 4 tonight.
Okay,
Okay, Skipper, you got,
I have the list. Oh, no, I haven't numbered. Hold on.
While he's not Evan, do you have the key to the storage shed? No. You don't?
Oh, what I have.
Because I thought I gave it to you to get into it 2 years ago to get the stuff out.
2 years.
Well, I wasn't there last year.
Ralph has it, right? Ralph usually opens the door and I Usually wait for them.
5 people have them and so far nobody's claimed them.
Time to change the lock.
Or- Yeah, well, good luck. You
Oh, yeah,
guys-
must
Get
be.
this year?
Pardon?
Ralph, check with Ralph.
I did.
He doesn't
And
He
have
doesn't
that.
have one. He says he doesn't have one. Ray doesn't have his. They can't find theirs. I gave mine to them, so they should have 2.
Well, I have
Um,
And you're thinking, I don't know, I don't remember, maybe,
I thought I gave you one.
maybe.
Because I had 5 of them made, so there should be 6 of them out there. I don't
What were you drinking when you handed them out?
Okay.
Nothing. I was at a stamp meeting. With you, I was in the car. I gave it to you last year in the
Well, see,
parking lot.
There's the advantage of attending Zoom meetings, because you saw me probably sipping wine on every one of those Zoom meetings.
Anyway,
So you didn't ever seen my wine. Oh,
okay, so
Okay,
you
let's-
still haven't found the key.
Let's go to the drawing. How many,
9. We got
Donna,
9
you give
people.
me a number between 1 and 9.
7.
Janet Moyer.
You have got to be kidding. History has been made.
She said this in the beginning, she never wins. Lucky guy.
It went like 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Do I get the win again?
You give me
4.
4 is, where is that? There's only 9. Oh, here it is, Rick Howell.
All right.
Thank me.
Did you have John?
Thank you, Jim.
Since he's on the meeting.
Sorta. No, I didn't put him on the thing.
Thank you, sir.
I'll add him.
Wait now.
So now we have, no, 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Rick,
9.
Number 9 is Ken Wills.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks, Rick.
okay, one more. Who is the
Oh,
lucky
thanks.
one?
You gotta give me a number, Ken.
Have we had number 2?
No,
That's good. You can say it again.
Stanley Christmas.
All right, well, that concludes the meeting, so what, we want to visit or whatever.
Good job.
I thank everybody for coming.
Think I'll give John a call here, make sure he's,
Next time, same bat time, same bat chat.
Thanks for coming, John.
It's
Yeah,
a
John,
pleasure.
thanks
It's
for
a
coming.
pleasure.
You know what, we should try, you should mute yours, Rick, and if I can. You wanna mute your?
not be worse, yeah.
If you can mute it, I wanna see. something.
John, can you hear us okay? Oh, never mind, he left by now. All right, it's it, please.
John has been so faithful.
Well, he's got ties, family